Hey y'all, what's going on tonight? Y'all come talk to me while I take these braids out my hair. Finally, I'm mad because I was supposed to take them out a couple weeks ago. I go get my hair done on Thursday, and my tail thought I had them down. I mean, thought my appointment was next, not thought I had them down, I'm tripping. Thought my appointment was, next week, because normally I get an email from the girl who do my hair, but I didn't get one, and I sent her a message on Instagram like, girl, when is my appointment? And she was like, Thursday, girl, at 9 o'clock. So I said, let me get this hair down, but I like my hair to breathe for about a week before I put braids back in it, but it's all good. So yeah, y'all, I think the topic today, I really just want to talk about like relationships. Like, I was dating this guy, y'all, and I started dating him in October of last year. And initially, like, I was really into him, right? Really, really into him. Probably about 4 to 5, about 4 to 5 months into the relationship, I found out he wasn't financially stable. Now, that bothered me because I'm very financially stable. So, to deal with someone who's not was like, I don't want to do this, right? But I did. And it kind of is what it is. So, so I kept dealing with him, y'all, and situation just got worse and worse and worse. The boy had the nerve to be, trying to cheat when you don't even got yourself together, baby. You don't got no money to entertain these women. You can't even entertain me. You ain't got no money to entertain these women. So I broke it off with him probably about 7 or 8 months into it. Because I was like, I can't do this. Like, it was just, I like to go, y'all. I love to go. I love to travel. I just love to do things. But everywhere I wanted to go, it was always an excuse. Now I find out the excuse was he never had money to do anything. So that's why he didn't want to go. So I was like, you know what? I said, so let me tell y'all the straw. I had went to Detroit for my little cousin's open house. I don't know if you guys know what that means, because I don't think they do them in the South. But it's when a kid graduates from high school and they go off to college. We all come together and have like a pretty much like a graduation send off to college party where you buy them things and get them ready for college, basically, so they don't have to worry about anything. So in Detroit, we call them open houses. You guys may do them and call them something else somewhere else, but I never heard of it. I've been in the South for 14 years now, and I haven't heard of it here. So I went up there for my little cousin's open house, and he was supposed to go, right? So last minute, first of all, I bought the tickets because me, him, and my daughter, I was like, I'm about to get these tickets right now, because it was me, him, my daughter, and my grandson. And literally a couple days before, he said, first of all, this is a 46-year-old man. He's never been on a plane. When he told me that, I should have stopped talking to him, because that means, baby, you ain't experienced nothing in life. Nothing. So I said, so last minute, he tried to say it was the fear of the plane that he didn't want to go. So for me, I just said, I said, okay, don't worry about it. But this wasn't like the first time he's did this. Like, I'm gonna have to share one of the videos when me and my family did an Airbnb in Miami that I hosted for my grandmother's children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I got an Airbnb out in Miami and we all went out there. I'll be getting off subject, y'all. But he was supposed to go there. He did the same thing, backed out last minute. You know, now I'm finding out it was really because he didn't have money. He's like, I didn't, you know, want to do anything, and I can't go nowhere without money, and this and that and that and this. But I'm like, bro, this is this is too much. Like, it was just too much, y'all. So I tried to be his friend, right? Haven't been sexually active with him since probably August when he was supposed to go to Detroit, probably right before he was supposed to go to Detroit with me. But he still kept trying to be my friend. Still kept trying to see what was up with us. And I'm like, we can be friends. Then I was like, I stopped being his friend literally like a couple weeks ago because I felt like he was really just trying to cock block. Although I'm not doing nothing, y'all, because right now I am so focused on me. I don't have time for a guy. I don't. And for me, I think anyone should feel like that. Like, especially him, especially any man. Like, if you are a person who don't have, like, how do you even get excited? Y'all know what I mean, right? Like, how does that even happen? Because, baby, when my money went right back in 2014, baby, when I tell you, I ain't think about it. Dry as a desert down there. So as a man, woman, anybody, how do you get turned on when your pocket's not right? I don't understand that. But some people do. So basically, the Detroit trip was really like a last ditch for me because, you know, my family had heard about him through FaceTime. If my aunts or my mom or any of them called me, then, you know, they met him over FaceTime. But so it was like, you made me look a fool in Miami. The Miami trip was in June. The open house, y'all, I'm getting these braids out, but I got to get these knots out of my head. I'll be using this Mielle stuff to try to break up the little, you know, when you have braids in your hair too long, how they start how they start doing too much. But he just wasn't, it was just, you know, the Detroit trip, you know, I done told my family, yeah, he'd be there. It's so funny because I don't know if it was my mom or my aunt. One of them said, you sure he gonna come this time? I said, he said he is. Oh, I cut my hair. I hate when I do that. So I said, yeah. I said the tickets is bought, so he gonna come. He did. Took him. I just got that money back, y'all. Want to say November. I just got that money back. So it took him literally 2-3 months to pay me back like $150. Yeah, it was sad, but whatever. So I just don't understand, like, how do you get excited when your pockets ain't right? And then he just so toxic. Like, every single conversation we have, and he get mad when I say I'm single. So if I was talking to someone, I could, because I'm single, right? So I know you're single. You don't got to keep throwing it up in my face. But every conversation we have is, oh, you ain't answered your phone last night. You must have been out with your guy. You must have been out with your guy. That's not the word he say, y'all. I don't know what he say. And I'm like, why do you call me with that? Like, why? It's annoying. The stupid stuff you do to call me to say when I'm single. If I was, I would have got, I'm single. I can do that, you know? So he went on and on about that, y'all. But I just go to say this. These men, let me say this first. I'm not into dating anyone right now. So even for the people who be in my DMs, I'm not interested, because guess what? I'm so focused on me right now. I don't want any distractions. I don't like for things to distract me when I get focused, because sometimes I think I have ADHD and it kick in and I get distracted easily. So I don't like for things to distract me when I'm focused. So I say all this to say, y'all, do you when it comes to these men, because they don't, some of them, listen, I had this guy that I dated, and I'm gonna go ahead and be extremely honest. I dated him in 2014. 2014 was a horrible year for me, y'all. He passed away in 2014, and a lot of things. I was homeless. I'll make a video about that one day. But a lot of things happened to me in 2014. It was a horrible year for me. And I always tell people I will never, and I mean that's on God, and that was God's promise to me as well. I will never relive 2014. And that's a promise. So it's just like, so this guy that I used to date back in 2014, he is the first guy. 2014, what years? 2014 was how many years ago? 8 years ago, which means I would have been 40. So, at 40, I learned how a man was supposed to treat me. Now, mind you, I've always had men with money, always. But 2014 is when I learned that it wasn't money that how, I was allowing people to buy me. That's what I was allowing people to do. And I never wanted to be bought. You know what I'm saying? So this guy, another guy who he wasn't one of the richest persons I knew. He actually he used to work 2 jobs, so he was straight, but he didn't have a whole lot of money like I was used to guys to have. And really, because another thing I found out, no matter about this situation, y'all, I found out probably when I first met him, he told me he had 4 children by his ex-wife. And he called me one day and he said, "Hey, we need to talk." And I said, "What we need to talk about?" So he was like, "I'm gonna come by." I was like, "Okay, that's cool." This man had 7 or 8 kids. 8 kids. He had 8 kids. And it was so hard. This is why it was so hard for me to leave him alone, y'all. But this is why I don't like when people take my options away. Don't take my options away from me. Let me know what it is. And if I'm either going to deal with it or I ain't. Don't take my options away from me. Don't say to me that you one thing and you're not. And here I am dealing with something that I don't want to deal with because now I have feelings for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you have to be honest with people up front. Just like I told this guy that I recently just stopped dating. Like, if I would have knew your financial situation, I would have never messaged you. And I didn't say it that bold, y'all, but I did tell him that. And he throws that up in my face all the time. And I'm like, I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not trying to be, and I hate that I told him that because as a woman, I want to protect other women, right? So I don't want to tell him that, because now he's going to deceive women going forward. And the fact of the matter is, he's not trying. That's the thing that bothered me. Like I said, he didn't have to be filthy rich, right? He just needed to have, he's a 46-year-old man. You need to have your stuff together. Like, there's just certain things at a certain age you need to have together. He didn't have anything together. Like, and he's not interested. So he has a job, y'all, but I literally think this man only make about $15 or $16 an hour, and I'm not exaggerating. And, you know, again, something that I get it. Some people, that's, you know, that you got to do what you got to do. Listen, in 2014, let me tell you, when I was homeless in 2014, at that time, I had a good job. I had a decent job, but so much had happened to me in 2014 that my finances went whack, and I got a second job. I was like, I got to do what I got to do. I went to work at Target on their overnight team, because that's all I can do is overnight, because my full-time job requires my whole daytime sometimes. So this man, you know, and I only think he make that much because he's like, man, he always complaining. I ain't never seen a person who just complain and don't do anything about it. He always talking about something. Well, he was like, I gotta do something, man. I can't keep making this $500 a week. And in my mind, that's his take home pay, right? So I added up $15 plus 40 hours. That's $600 a week. So he gotta make about $15 an hour. But again, I'm like, whatever. Cause listen, I've seen it. I know people. Sometimes it's not your dollar amount. I'm gonna sit here and tell you that. Some people are just poor money managers. Me and my cousin were actually just talking about this, because we know people who, two people in a household, both back in 2000 and, or this was probably the 90s, y'all. This was like either late 90s or early 2000s when I moved to Georgia in 2008. So it was either late 90s or early 2000s. Both of them, husband and wife, were making over $100,000 a year. They both used to be broke. In that same time frame, I was making like $15 an hour, right? And I used to have more money than them, because I just know how to manage money. I've always been good at managing money. Well, no, I haven't. I'm a spender. I'm going to tell y'all that now. I am a spender, but I'm going to tell you one thing about me. Everything in this house going to be paid for before I spend anything. I don't believe in putting nothing aside, because I be like, the money ain't mine anyway. So let me give these people their money. That's how I feel. But to get back, so me and my cousin was just talking about that. Like, some people are just poor money managers. So that didn't really bother me, y'all. I just found this whole 15, when he mentioned this a few weeks ago. Like, he always complaining about how he got to do better, but he don't do better. So I think for him, since I told him that if I knew his finances was like that, I would have never dated him. I think he think for me, he's going to go try to make his financial situation better. So this man went and got a job delivering pizza. He's making, you know, at nighttime. So, okay, I don't knock nobody hustle, honey. I don't. Whatever you got to do to get your life in order, make that stuff pop. But he gets his job at Domino's, right? So he worked there. He was like, so in August, I told y'all I was pretty much done with him. He knew that. So I think he got this job at Domino's in like October or something. So he come telling me, he's like, man, I'm trying to get it together. And I told him, it's not your finances. It's just, I just don't like the way you handle things or whatever. So he says, hi, Papa. How's it doing, baby? And you found my room to be a nice room. Oh, why you bring them here and they ain't got no clothes and I'm on camera?
They on camera?
You can definitely see them.
Get over there.
Hi, Bubs. Hi, Papa. So, you know, he tells me about this Domino's job or whatever. And I'm like, okay, Domino's job. So that's what's up. You know, whatever is gonna make your life better. So, he was like, yeah, I'm trying to get it together for you. I don't ever want a man to change for me. You know why? Because it's not for me. It's for you. Hi, Bubs. How you doing? You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Say hi. Okay, say bye-bye. All right, go in there with TT.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you.
So, it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do it, when you change for people, it's temporary. When you change for somebody else, you're not going to stick with that. Change for yourself, because then you'll appreciate it more, you know? But, so then he picks up a third job. Let me tell y'all something. I can't really get into this because I have legal matters going on, but I, for the last 5 years, have worked 2 jobs because I like to spend money. I just told y'all that. I'm a huge shopper. So I worked to pay for things that I wanted. So one job, I can't, like I said, I can't really talk about it. I've been on leave since a year now, since February of last year. And I'm now going through a civil matter because I got injured at work. So I'm now going through something to handle that. But in any instance, I work 2 jobs because I've always, listen, when you have all this nice stuff growing up as a child, don't do that, Bubs. I'm doing something, baby. So when you been used to money as a child, you get older and you just stay used to those nice things. At least that's, you know, what happened for me. So I had to work hard to keep my lifestyle, the lifestyle that I wanted to live. I had to, is your phone? Yeah, it's all beat up. Here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got some food.
You do. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. He funny, y'all. To keep the lifestyle that I wanted to keep. So for the last 5 years, I've worked 2 jobs. I'm only working one now, which is my full-time job. My other job where I, you know, have a civil case pending. I, you know, was there for 5 years. It was a part-time job. I was a part-time supervisor. But I don't understand people who, like, I only did it for my shopping pleasures. You know what I'm saying? This man he need to work like that and doesn't. So he was working Domino's, right? Delivering pizza. Then let me tell you how crazy this man mindset is. You got to work at Domino's 120 days to get 1,000 sign-on bonus. He said to me, he said, do you think I should, he said, do you think it's worth, then he always get mad at my answers. Like, don't ask, because I only give my opinion to people who want it. Literally, that's who I am. If I am a listening ear, I am a great friend to people, and I am a listening ear. I will always listen to you if you need me to. And I only give my 2 cents when they ask, except to my children, because I'm their biggest critic. So I'm learning to listen to them because they don't like it. But he always asks my opinion and then get mad. So he says, so do you think that's worth it? I said, so you got to work 120 days before you get $1,000 bonus? I said, no, I don't think it's worth it. You're going to spend $1,000 in gas in 4 months. You know what I'm saying? So he was, or is that 6 months? 120 days? I don't know. I don't feel like doing the math, y'all. I think it's 4 months though. But he said, I said, you're going to spend $1,000 in gas. So he's like, yeah. So he got a job at Kroger, right? But still tried to keep the Domino's job just for this bonus, y'all. Literally, this is how his mind worked. He said, I'm going to tell them I can only work, because you don't have to work 120 days. You have to be there 120 days. So he said, I'm going to tell them I only can work 1 day a week just so I can get this bonus. Like, this is literally how broke he is. It's disgusting. So, and it's disgusting for a man to think on such a low vibration. He got a job at Kroger. He worked at Kroger 1 week. He said, man, he said, I ain't built for this. Now, mind you, his full-time job, he don't really do nothing because he be on the phone with me all day. So he don't really do nothing. He just be sitting around chilling. So you can definitely work another job. Nah, this man said, man, I can't do that. I'll be tired, man. You don't got no hustle, bro. It's disgusting. Really, it is. It's really disgusting that you don't have no hustle like that. So my other job that I've been on leave for a year, let me tell y'all how my schedule works. Well, now I'm on a different type of schedule. But I used to work a split schedule, right? On my full-time job. The part-time job, I was a part-time supervisor. I used to have to be to work at 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get off till 9 in the morning. That is part-time. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I got off work not between 9 and 10. Part-time. Sometimes I didn't have to be to work till 3. It just depends on how the day was going. So, didn't get off till between 9 and 10. Then I would come home and have to work my full-time job. And I used to work a split schedule. I used to work from 10 till 2, be off from 2 to 6. I would sleep during that time. So I would turn my phones on Do Not Disturb so no one would call me. And then I would go back to work from 6 to 10. And remember, guys, I had to be up to be to work sometimes 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So I was getting about 6 to 7 hours of sleep a day, because I would sleep my entire 4 hours on my 4-hour break. And then when I got off at 10, I would go back to sleep and sleep till like 1:30 in the morning. So I was getting my that job I had to go to. This job I work from home. My full-time job I work from home. So that's tired, right? That's, though I was getting 6 to 7 hours of sleep, that's a long day. That's a lot. And although my part-time job was a part-time supervisor, I was literally a full-time supervisor, because I was working full-time hours, especially during peak season. I was working 10 hours a day, then come home and work 8 hours a day on my full-time job. I was doing this 5 days a week, guys. So, 1 weekend, man, I don't even know how you did that. I did it because I want things, and I don't like to live. I don't like to live where I can't do what I want to do when I want to do it. If I feel like booking a trip to go somewhere next week, I'm going to book a trip and go somewhere next week. So, yes. So I'm like, this boy. So I was like, I said, so you ain't going back? He was like, no. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I can't handle that. This is his favorite thing. Even my homeboy said, yeah. He always cared too much. Like, you're 46 years old and you still care about what your homeboys think about your life. Retarded. So I was like, I can't do this. So last week, y'all, I haven't talked to him in about 2 weeks now, because I'm just over it. Like, I just don't want to. I feel like, even though I was just really trying to be his friend, just something to do, something to hang out with, because like I told y'all, I'm not interested in dating anyone right now. I'm not interested in sleeping with no one. I'm not interested in none of that, because my focus is me right now. My focus is getting where I want to be. So I'm just not interested. So last week, guys, we went out to eat. We went to this little Mexican restaurant, and he was gonna pay for it, right? His card declined. I was so embarrassed. He knew he didn't have no money. Why he do that? I was so embarrassed, y'all. Like, I don't like for people to embarrass me like that. Like, I don't like for people to think I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? So even though it was his card, I don't like for people to think I ain't got it or anything. Like, I was so embarrassed. So I paid for it. And I was just like, the straw for me. I was just like, the straw was really back Detroit. But the not being your friend now, I can't even do that. Because now I really just feel like you're trying to cock block. He always be like, oh, you such a good woman. Your mouth though. This is why you have your stuff together so people can't talk to you like you're crazy. You heard me? This is why you have your stuff together. Because then people will have a level of respect for you. So because I don't want to continue, I told you guys that me and my children for Christmas went to the cabins. Oh, that's my dryer. I'm like, what is that? We went to the cabins. So he came with us because my daughter and her baby daddy came. My other daughter and her girlfriend came. And my son, his girlfriend came. So I let him go, right? So he came to the cabins with us. And this is where me and my children decided that we need to go to family counseling because my daughter told me after he left, she said, Mommy, you were so mean to him. And I probably was, but a lot of the meanness really came from things he did to me, and he know why. But that's why I have to remove myself from people because I don't want to intentionally be mean to people. And at first I couldn't understand. I think for me, I thought if I keep being mean to him, he would leave me alone. But I think he like it, y'all. Like, I think he like me being mean to him. You always just tell me, like, you a good woman, but your mouth. He liked me being mean to him. But I don't want to be mean to him. That's not who I am. That's who I used to be. And if he had caught me 6, 7 years ago, yeah, I wouldn't have cared. But I care now because I don't want to intentionally be mean to people. I don't want to intentionally do people wrong. So it's just time for him to go. You know what I'm saying? And my daughter, my daughter said to me, she said, Mommy, I was embarrassed at how mean you was to him. Like, I was so embarrassed for him. So that's where I decided that, so when she told me that, right? She told me that when we got back from the cabins. And I blocked him, right? Because he literally, if I show y'all my phone, I just want y'all to see this. Where's my phone? Where all these, I'll probably erase them now. So when I block him, he calls me private 1,000,000 times a day. 1,000,000 times a day. This time when I blocked him, he called me private. Was it Saturday? I think it was. He hasn't called since. But I don't answer when he called private. But I blocked him when I came back. And I literally just unblocked him 2 weeks ago. And in 2 weeks, I stopped talking to him last week. I can't do it. So I say all this to say, we got to be careful, one, how we treat people, and two, who we let in our space. Because I don't want to be around people that I have to be mean to. I don't want to, oh, this is another thing he said. So y'all know I watch a lot of people on social media. I watch a lot of people on social media. And he had a problem with that. Like, he used to say weird things, y'all. I'm not even about to repeat some of the things he said because it's retarded. Like, it's literally retarded. But that's life, right? But I say all this to say that, you know, we have to be careful how we treat people. Every day I strive. I'm going to tell y'all, that is a prayer that I prayed since probably about 2015. I was homeless in 2014 from August till December. A lot happened to me that year. I was homeless from August to December. I slept in my vehicle. I showered. The good thing is I wasn't working from home yet in 2014. I showered at the gym. I would get up every morning, every weekend, y'all. I'm gonna get more into this story. I would rent. I would get a hotel so I can cook my meals for the week because I didn't want to eat out because that's how much I needed to preserve my money. So I would cook. I would get a hotel, like an extended stay that had stoves and stuff. I would cook, take my food to work, put it in the refrigerator for the week. People used to steal my food, y'all. They literally used to steal my food. And I'm like, you know what people going through? Why you stealing their food? But they literally used to steal my food. Yes, baby. Yeah, I'm going to get in the bed with you. You don't want to sleep in the other bed by yourself? Why? Okay. He will not sleep in the bed by himself, y'all. He got to sleep with me all the time, like he crazy. So, yeah, they used to steal my food, y'all. But in 2014, in December of 2014, right before Christmas, I got an apartment. Nobody knew I was homeless except two of my friends. And it's funny because I didn't look like I was homeless. I'm gonna have to show y'all some pictures of when I was homeless. I didn't look homeless because I used to get up. I used to sleep in my car at the gym. I would get up and work out in the gym. I would work out. Then, you know, I went to Lifetime. That's my gym. Y'all, I love Lifetime. And I would shower, go to work, come home, work out again. And then I would come get in my car. I would sit in Lifetime. Literally, when I got off work, I would sit in Lifetime for a few hours. And I would, this hair is so, oh, it's so matted. And I would go to sleep. Come get in my car and go to sleep. My children were grown except my son, so he slept in the car with me. He was 15 at the time. Yeah, he was 15 at the time. So the rest of them was grown, so, you know, they were out on their own. And people wonder why. It's funny, my daughter that's a truck driver did not know I was homeless. She was like, I was like, I was homeless. Like, nobody knew I was homeless because my pride, which I try to put down sometimes. And when my friend, she called me one day, one of my friends, she asked me, can we go walking up Stone Mountain? I was like, girl, I don't care, I ain't doing that. So we walked up Stone Mountain, and my friend, y'all, I'm gonna have to talk about her one day too. She know I'll be talking about her too. She asked so many questions that it's annoying. So finally, like, she was asking me questions because she knew I moved out my house because she, you know, she hadn't been able to come over or whatever. So she just kept asking me questions, and I'm like, bro, leave me alone. So she like the stuff I was saying to her wasn't making sense. She was like, huh? I'm like, girl, why you ask so more questions? I'm like, girl, I'm homeless. I sleep in my car. So she did say, you know, that stops tonight. So I did stay at her house 2 weeks before my apartment was ready. So the last 2 weeks of before my apartment was ready, I did stay at her house. She was like, you're not sleeping in the car. So it was cool though. But yeah, I don't want to be mean to people, y'all. I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. I just want to be great. But that is a prayer I've prayed. That's what I was talking about. That is a prayer that I have prayed since 2015, every single day. Lord, make me a better person. And am I where I want to be? No, but I'm definitely way further than I used to be. And it's so funny because my cousin, when I went to pick up my glasses last weekend, the guy, you know, he was with me, or that whatever weekend, 2 weekends ago. I left him in the car. I left him in the car while my cousin was talking, and I was like, Tracy, talk to him for a minute. I'm about to, I didn't mean to say her name. I don't like to say people's name, y'all. So I said, talk to him for a minute while I ran in the store. So she was talking to him, and she had a conversation with me. She was like, everybody says this. He's a great guy. He is. I won't take that away from him. But he's not the great guy for me. He's somebody else's blessing. He is. And that's why I tried to be his friend, because he is. He's a good guy. He's just not motivated enough for me. And I don't want to be held back. I don't want nobody to bring me down to their level. I don't. So in order for me to get where I'm trying to go, he has to go. So I don't want to be held down. I don't. But I don't even know what I was saying, y'all. Something about my cousin. I don't know. But I was really just like, he just gotta go. It's time for me to do me. But I don't know what I was saying, y'all. I really forgot my thoughts, and I hate when I do that. I'm always off subject. It's a bad habit of mine. But y'all, I'm about to get off here because I need to, I don't even know if I'm going to wash my hair tonight. I'm about to go take a bath, though. I'm not going to wash my hair tonight because I got to figure out how to get all these mats out of it. And I got to do something because I got to go get my hair done Thursday. So we'll figure it out. But thank y'all for hanging out with me. I'm about to get up off of here, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Y'all pray and keep the faith. That's all I can say. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you, beautiful souls, for listening.